His Excellency Mohamed Nasheed was the first democratically elected president of the Maldives, and it's through his great diligence the Maldives returned as a member of the Commonwealth earlier this year or late last year. And we're delighted that you could spare the time. Over to you, great man.
Well, thank you so much, Lord, and it's lovely to see you. I know it's in difficult circumstances. Honorable Julia and everyone else, I am not actually representing the government, but the island nations have always been portrayed as vulnerable. We've been always told that we have no resources. We are very poor. We are very fragile. We have very few people, and it's just apparently absolutely impossible for us to get around and do anything, get anything done. Now, that's been the picture that's been painted for a fair amount of time. In fact, in the 50s and 60s, the United Nations didn't think that the Maldives could come up with a model for tourism and make a livelihood out of it. But we like to think that we are a big ocean state. We are not a small island nation. We are all huge ocean states. The Maldives, for instance, is 1,000 kilometers from north to south, and it's 600 kilometers from east to west. And you cannot cross the Indian Ocean without going through us, without having something to do with the Maldives. We've made our livelihoods out of the ocean. We fish, we use our beauty, the beach, the reefs, to invite people to come and have a good time, a holiday in the Maldives. Now, recently, of course, with the lockdown, we've lost everything. The whole thing has come to a stop. All the resorts are shut. No one is coming to the Maldives at all. The next few months, actually. Of course, we've had very good assistance from neighbors from India and other friendly countries, and also multilateral agencies. But of course, that doesn't really quite reach the extent of the damage. $29 million to the Maldives these days is actually, it doesn't stretch coming from the International Monetary Fund. It doesn't really quite stretch that much anymore, because we've been able to come out with a reasonable economy of $5 billion with a per capita of about 12 to 15,000 per head. So the money coming to us as assistance doesn't really quite stretch to where it should go. Now, who has taken the hit? The labor has taken the hit. The boys and the girls who work for the industry has taken the hit. They've lost their jobs and they've gone home and they've gone back to their islands and they are stuck in the capital in Male. And I believe this story would be the same everywhere. You can try to gloss it up. You can try to find a beautiful picture for this, but no, it's not there. All the resort workers are stuck in their capitals because they are expatriate workers everywhere. They are migrant workers everywhere. They migrate from villages, they migrate from islands, they migrate from poor areas, and they come and they live in the capital and they're trying to work in the resorts. Now all that is stopped and they are stuck in the capital. And it's really quite impossible to see where we will go from here. Now, how we are going to pick this thing up and then reopen back again and then start our livelihood back again. Of course, you know, we've had challenges and we've won against odds many, many times. And we are going to win against the odds this time either. We are not backing down. No one in the Maldives is willing to do that. And I believe no one in any small island is willing to do that either. We have to open up. And this idea, I don't know if there is a new normal. There's only one normal as far as I understand. That's saying hello to each other, shaking hands, and you know, we are humans. And I really do not understand the normal other than hugging someone, shaking hands with someone, saying hello to someone. And I think the more that we try to think that there is another new normal and we have to get ready for that kind of thing, the more difficult it becomes for us to open up these industries. It becomes impossible when you start talking about 23 quarantine stages, when you start talking about stopping in every single place and frightening the people from traveling, then it's going to be very, very difficult for any one of us to start. And also, Lord, I like to point out, there is the International Civil Aviation Organization. There is the World Tourism Organization. We haven't seen them in the act. Italy is saying that they are going to open. Malta is saying that they are going to open. The Italian tourists' destination is in the Maldives, and we are unable to open yet. So, and if we are unable to open, and if our customer is opening up, now this is an issue, and I think we really need to come together, get ourselves organized internationally as well. So, Lord, thank you very much for the Commonwealth to coming up with this discussion. And no other, I've not seen any international forum discussion on how we would open up and how we may be able to link these airlines, these airports, and all the other logistics together. Thank you very much. I suppose I should stop, but my main point is, look, we are in trouble, and there's no doubt about it. But we need to come out of it. And we do not think, it's very, very difficult to think that we can come out of this with zero loss. No, that's really not quite possible. So we have to take a decision on how much loss can we tolerate. And I think that should be where we should start working, not at zero loss. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Very interesting. I think you've hit the nail on the head with getting international organizations to cooperate more. Perhaps they are, we'll hear later.